I'm Father Earth.
And I'm Dookie Brownflow.
We're Second Womb.
And we're artists from New Jersey.
Well, I made music my whole life. Started on guitar, went to drums, back to guitar, and then during high school, started producing music on my own. Where did you start?
I've been in the musical family my whole life. All my cousins, everyone in my family really plays an instrument. I'm the only one who doesn't play an instrument actually. Grew up in a church family, so we was always, always in tune with the gospel. And from there, as a youngin', I just wanted to follow my cousins around. So my older cousins were rapping, and I just decided to pick up a mic. This is when tape decks was in, and we was on a computer, just on a computer microphone, just rapping, and from there.
Yeah, and we met. I was interning at a major studio in Philly as an engineer / intern / whatever they needed. Was doing a session with an artist, a friend of his, and we just happened to meet, got to talking, found out we had similar interests in music, and that was it.
Yeah, man, it clicked right away. And he played the beat, and as soon as he played the beat, I think I had the track. It was Teardrops, right? And I had the track I already wrote, and I was like, yo, this thing goes exactly to something I already wrote. And then from there, it was just like, man, match made in heaven.
Yeah, Second Womb.
The womb. I've been doing music since I was like 11 years old, I'm guessing. I've been with my cousin produces, so I was doing a lot of music with them. I have so much music, like me just by myself. He has a lot of music too, but I have like cassette tapes of me when I was D Money, I was D Brown, I was what else was I? I don't know. I had mad names. This is way before I met Cole, and I released a tape called Welcome to the Garden, and that was like my first official release of like me being like, I guess, an adult or in college, of me really doing the music and really pushing it the way I did. Because when I was doing it when I was younger, it was just the family and the thing just to release, just to be creative. But I really pushed Welcome to the Garden, and I wasn't the artist I am now. My mind wasn't the same. I had like a shift in consciousness in like 2012. To make a long story short, I wound up getting brutally assaulted by the cops, and they flipped the whole entire story around and basically said that I incited a riot when I really didn't, and that like took my consciousness to a whole nother level, and I wound up getting kicked out of school for a year. And then during that break is when I met Cole, and I just wound up, my whole entire process of just thinking in music in general just flipped 360 degrees, and I became, I guess, a conscious rapper, for lack of a better term. An aware rapper. And I just started talking about, what I see around me, and the evils and the good and the evils of the world. And I met him, and it was like fate. I feel like I met him, and it's crazy because he had the name Second Womb. Like he said he got it in a dream. And when he met me, he said the name, and I was like, yo, that's like perfect, because it made so much sense, because this is my second producer. This is my second life, I guess you could say, my second birth in consciousness. So like Second Womb made perfect sense. And when he had it, it's so faithful.
Yeah, just made sense.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. I felt like we both had so much built up in us that we needed to get out, because I'm not sure about Cole, but I'm not sure how long he was doing hip hop before me, but it wasn't to the extent that we were doing it. And literally like every single night I was over there, and he was just knocking out beats, and I was just knocking out lyrics, and it was no time to think about what direction we want to go in. We were just letting it go. We were just, whatever was in us, it was just happening in that time.
Yeah, and like my musical past before meeting him, I was in just like weird sort of like, I guess you could call it punk rock, but we never really tried to like fit in a box type of thing. So I've always kind of carried that with me, like, just not really trying to fit a mold, just trying to release what's in there, just to get it out,
For sure, and it was definitely just fluent, like we keep saying. it was never nothing forced. Nothing was ever forced when it came to the music with us. Never really cared about what anybody wanted to hear. It was only us two. So if he didn't like it or I didn't like it, then it would get scratched. But for the most part, it was never nothing that we made that we haven't liked. And if it was, no one will ever hear it.
Yeah, people will always try to compare you to something else, you know, especially when you're doing something that doesn't really fit a mold like that. Because people just want to have references. They want to be able to say you sound like this, or you know what I mean. Your work reminds them of this, and when they can't find that in your work, you know, I think it frustrates them a little bit.
Art Basel was ridiculous. That was like one of the best times I've had. Like I've never seen so many people together for one occasion. Throughout the whole entire Art Basel experience, it was we were just running and bumping into people who were just freely open to anything that we had to talk about, because we was doing a lot of street performing and things of that nature, and just people would just draw crowds. We just rapping in the middle of the street and just drawing crowds. It was a lot of camaraderie at Art Basel.
Yeah,
I really
for sure.
And when it comes to jazz, she was actually staying with my friend who we wound up lamping up with, and like we was passing back and forth, but we never got to chill with them. Like it was her and her friend, and we never got to chill with them until the last night. And then the last night we wound up kicking it, and then I wound up going outside for something. And I came back and they were meditating out of nowhere. And she was like, she's a Reiki master. She does meditation and all that. And they was meditating, and then I just like dropped into a meditation like right with them. And literally, this is like the deepest meditation I've been in.
Yeah. That
fast, like it happened like that. Like as soon as I sat down on the couch, like I was like in the void. And we were all just meditating for a good 10-15 minutes, and then we emerged and had to catch a flight. And then on the flight, he was like, "Yo, what if we get Jazz on this EP?" And I was like, "Man, that's perfect."
Yeah, I was always kind of skeptical of meditation before that, honestly, but something about how she was guiding us, like, I don't know, I just slipped into it, and then next thing you know, I was like, oh, we gotta leave. Well, musically, I could say, I've just been trying to, over the last year or so, I've been trying to get away from sampling and kind of putting my own musical talents to use, you know? So that's where a lot of that came from. There's no samples on this EP. And just trying to experiment with different sounds, you know, things I'm inspired by, things I like to listen to. And also just trying to make use of like artists we're close with, like Marissa Joy. She's on 2 of the tracks, and she's amazing, she's dope. Just trying to expand, you know.
I don't know. I've been in an emotional place because I've had a passing in my family. My aunt, very close with. She's like my second mother for real. And she was like the guidance, I guess, in that EP, in the sound of the EP, because I really wanted to put that track out because it was so me, and it was so my heart. It was just emotionally. It was just a vent, I guess you can say, on where I can get it off. And I kind of wanted to open the year with that because I ended the year with that experience, and I feel like we just needed to get it off our chest before, you know, it was just a perfect way to start the year. And Gravity and The Void just accompany that song, and then the meditation. It's just divine. That EP is real proud of that one.
Yeah, for sure.
It's mixed.
Half and half.
Yeah.
People enjoy it, but they don't realize that he wrote all the vocals on it. You know, we just got MJ to sing it. So they're like, oh, you're not rapping enough on it. We didn't hear enough of you. But really, you know, it's all us. And we're just kind of using other people's catalysts to get that out.
That's all they say. Gravity, I was waiting for a verse to come up, or do this and that. I'm like, I want to hear that Dookie, but you're hearing Dookie. Like, I don't know. It's just the box I was talking about earlier that people try to put you in because they expect a certain sound from you, but I'm not just a certain sound. We're not just what you think we are. We embody more than just what we've shown you. Like, growing forward, I feel like as artists, only way for us to expand, to experiment, and it's not even like experiment to the point to where we're thinking about things to do. It's just happening. Like we're not. This is not forced at all. 0% is forced. So, we're just being us as full as possible.
Yeah, I think a lot of our process can be described as like unconscious, not anti-conscious. A lot of the lyrics and stuff are very conscious, but the process itself, we don't really conceptualize things and then go for it. We kind of it all happens at once, and then we arrive at the concept. We're like, oh, that's what it is. That's what we've been working towards.
I really I like the dialogue with it. As long as you're talking, I don't care what you have to it. As long as you're listening and you have some type of dialogue towards it, I don't care if you like it or you don't like it. As long as it's hitting you and it's hitting a certain chord, even if it's making you uncomfortable, that's good to me. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I'd rather.